Good morning, boys and girls. Monday, February 9th, 2026. We're going to do a quick daily bias assessment here. We got 10 minutes, about 9 minutes to market open. And right now we got some movement heading more bearish. Although, what I want you to take a look at here, I'm going to go to the 4 hour and have you take a look what's happening here. What we have is an overall bias of things moving lower and then lower. But what we have here is as they're heading lower, we have a big uptrend here, and we have what ends up being a break of structure right up in this where we broke a back above this high. And now that we've broken back above that high instead of making a lower high, I think we have now broken structure to the upside, and I'm feeling this to be more bullish. If we come over here, we can see the same kind of thing happening here as well, where we've got what ultimately looks like we had an uptrend that reversed, we had a break of structure, lower, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, but then we had a break of structure right here and even right here where we ended up making a new high. And now what we're seeing is just we have a newer high established that's above these highs, and we're seeing just what amounts to a slight pullback. So I think overall we are going to be bullish, but it won't be without a relatively significant move coming south. So here's basically what my assessment is. Let me move to the 1 hour and get a better perspective on this. So in the 1 hour, and you could see there was a couple fair value gaps in the 4 hour. But in the 1 hour, what we're looking at is we have a bit of an imbalance through here. We have a bit of an imbalance through here. So what I'm seeing is we had some market manipulation where it took out New York highs. It came, Asian came down, and then where London starts, it took out the lows, continued, and then began coming back up. So it manipulated, then reversed, and it wanted to go higher. But right now it's floundering a little bit, and it looks like we're right in that equilibrium stage. But somehow I'm thinking when we open New York session here in a little bit, the pull is going to be down toward manipulation with a liquidity sweep right in this area, and maybe taking out some of this imbalance right here, if not all of it. It could take out all of it, but I know I'm very, very certain we're going to be taking out London lows. And then from there, the idea is for it to curl back up, and we'll be targeting some of these highs up here. There's really good area of liquidity here. There's also an imbalance area right up in here that we can target as well for highs up here. So that's really where my bias is today. That's what I'm looking for. With 5 minutes left to the market open, or 6 minutes, 5 and change left to the market open. So let's move down to the 5 minute, and I'll give you a better idea of where I'm looking for trades here. So as you can see, we're definitely looking at taking out things along here. This is where that imbalance is, down in this area. Like I said, we could come down through here. I'm not so sure that'll be the case. You know, there's other low time frame areas of liquidity through here, so maybe a little bit of a dip, something that approaches what would look like equilibrium through this move to this move, through the New York move. But that's what I'm seeing here, a move down here to manipulate this, and then a push higher above those highs to up in here. And I believe that's at least the bias I'm going to play, unless something else proves itself different to me. You know, obviously, if today's move continues to balance out the area of imbalance that we noticed on the 1 hour and the 4 hour, then that would be the other play, depending on where it goes from there. So We'll see, but for at least in the open, I'm really anticipating that we're going to be looking at sweeping these London lows and then moving to something higher. You know, definitely this 1 hour area of liquidity is, you know, high time frame area is going to be a good target. London highs will be a good target because there's other liquidity up there. We also have another hour area of liquidity, and then we've got New York highs, Asian highs right here that we can target as well. So Nasdaq's looking pretty good. I am not at the moment seeing anything that looks like a major S&T divergence, except maybe a little bit on the 5 minute, but it's already playing itself out, showing that it's a downtrend here. So if anything, it'll just keep continuing down and just gives me a little more confidence that that's the direction we're moving in. So really, as we get to market open now in about 3 minutes and change, you know, I think that's what our bias is going to be going in. That's what we're going to be looking for. So we will see what the market gives us. I'm going to stretch this out a little bit more so we can get a little bit more play in there. But that's really what we're looking at here, and I'm not sure which one is going to have more play. I think there's more areas to sweep down to. The S&P looks like it's got some pretty good targets. They actually both do. They're both in a very, very similar spot right now. So either one I think would be a good play. They both got very similar targets that they're shooting for. So like I said, we'll see what happens at market open, and we'll see about taking a trade on one of these and seeing what moves. Taking a quick look here as we get toward market open, we have what looks like a pretty nice move right here, this downward move that creates a little bit of an area of an imbalance here. You can see all of these orange candles. I'm wondering if maybe we try to take out a little bit of this in the open, just a little bit of the liquidity here before dropping further. So maybe on market open, our initial surge will be up just a little bit. It could be. That's also a good area of equilibrium from the high to the low. So we can mark that out and see. If it gets up into equilibrium and then begins to head south, that might be a good place to take a quick scalp trade. So we'll take a look and see where this area of manipulation goes in about 1 minute. Matter of fact, I'm going to mark out equilibrium right now on this. I think that's a good target right now. We can jump down to the 1 minute if we begin to see something moving down from there. And see if we can get a quick trade. If we do get this popping up and then moving toward equilibrium and then popping down, that'd be a good verification on my bias that we're heading down. Otherwise, we could just head straight down from there. But for right now, this is what we're going to look at. So we're getting ready for market open here. All right, we've got market open. Looks like we're just trying to figure it out. Okay, and it looks like we have a south movement here like I thought. I'm going to go ahead and take a short. Okay, and I'm out. Okay, that was a good scalp trade right there. I think that would probably make my goal for the day. I think I'm just going to leave this be. Again, this is the prop account, so I can only take so much in profit each day without overdoing what it is. This would be day 3 of the qualification on the prop account, so Um, as long as I'm averaging my 600 a day or better, without going over the 1500 mark. And I think on today's trade we did. What did we do today? We did what was that trade I just did now? Yeah, that trade I just did was 850. So that makes it. So I've got a lot going on today. I'm sure that there's going to be plenty of other areas to trade on things today, so I'm not going to push my luck. There's no need for me to sit here for other hours on end, or even for an hour. Um, for those of you that don't know, I'm a professional musician. I work with a corporate tribute band that plays in the casino circuits, and we have a show that's about 3 hours away today. So I've got my bass player meeting up with me. We're going to be packing up the truck, and we've got ourselves a long drive plus a setup. Then the show, and then we are planning on coming back same day. So it's going to be a super long, exhausting day. There's no reason for me to have to continue trading here, but as you can see, it looks like my original assessment was pretty much right on. We're looking at having a liquidity sweep and the manipulation heading down toward the London lows, which we caught on the Nasdaq. Didn't quite get there on the S&P, but from there, I still think we're targeting the highs. I'll keep an eye on this on my phone while we're traveling, just to kind of see what's going on. But like I said, there's no reason for me to have to trade anymore at this point, since this is just a qualifier. So this is going to be a really short one, boys and girls. Just a quick 12-minute video to tell you where my bias was and where my trade ideas were going from there. So good luck to the rest of you. There's going to be plenty of opportunity to find some trades. It looks like we got some good price action. And if this plays out in the way that I'm thinking, as it seems to be already with the S&P, and it looks like we're getting there with the Nasdaq. Let me jump down to the 1 minute real quick and take a look. Yeah, we're looking good here. So yeah, so this can be something where even if we pop up to equilibrium, come back down a couple times, the idea is to basically end up targeting up in here. But we'll take a look more at what's happening. Keep an eye on your charts. Trade smart. Use good psychology. Use good discipline and good risk management, boys and girls. Hope you have a great day. Good start to the week, and we will see you all tomorrow.